Hi, everybody. I know we're waving, but it's nice to see you all.
Oh, look at Jay's at the lake. Our virtual lake. I want that one too.
Yeah.
Anybody on?
There's a bunch of us here. Can you see us?
I cannot. Let me.
See us now.
Good morning and welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living Sunday Meditation. My name is Ann Strayer and it is my honor to lead you in this guided meditation. Have you ever noticed how a dog yawns? They naturally know when and how to do this. They yawn when they're feeling stress and anxiety, and they yawn just before settling in. And there's a reason, a good reason they do this. Dogs yawn to help calm themselves, especially when they're stressed. So what can we learn from this? Yawning triggers relaxation. It's a way for our bodies to reboot our oxygen supply. And it's a way we can get rid of excess carbon dioxide in our bloodstream and in our lungs. A yawn forces us to take a full, deep breath, fully oxygenating our lungs and allowing us to exhale completely. Yawning is triggered involuntarily. And when we observe another person yawn and we yawn, it's called echo phenomenon. It's the automatic imitation of another person's words or actions. And it's a sign of empathy. So my intention this morning is to embrace the yawn and to celebrate it. You do remember how to yawn, don't you? Of course you do. It's in your nature. So you're at home in a safe place. No one is watching or judging. So I invite you to fully immerse yourself in the experience, as much or as little as you feel guided. So if you're open to it, let's give it a try. Find yourself in a comfortable position, shifting your mind inward. I invite you to begin by rolling your head in gentle circles, from left to right, right to left. And roll your shoulders back, and forward. Shake your shoulders and your arms. This just helps to relax the tight muscles. And I now invite you to allow yourself to experience a purposeful yawn. Begin by opening your mouth and inhaling deeply. And then just let it out with a sigh. Very good. And now, again, open your mouth and start to breathe in, opening the back of your throat and allowing the breath to expand naturally, filling your airways, opening and expanding, and allowing the yawn to arrive at just the right place. And complete this yawn by exhaling with a slow sigh. Good. And now inhale fully again with an open mouth, opening the throat, filling the lungs and the belly, and exhaling with a full sigh. It's perfectly natural for your eyes to water during this process. Simply allow. Now, on this next yawn, I invite you to raise your arms up and over your head as you inhale, and let them fall to your side as you exhale. Excellent. Feel your back and shoulder muscles relax. Feel free to allow your breath to fall into its natural rhythm. Feel free to raise your arms with each breath if you're inclined, or you can simply just focus on your breath. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. Just breathe. Breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Notice how much more relaxed and calm you feel. Notice a feeling of peace washing over your entire body. Notice how good it is to just be right where you are, right here. Right now. For the next few moments, I invite you to continue breathing in, breathing out, and allow yourself to yawn as it comes to you. Listen to the soothing tones as you breathe for the next few moments. breathe in relaxation. I breathe out tension. I am more calm with each breath I take. My mind is calm. My body is relaxed. I release worry and know this too shall pass. I am sending love and light for healing in the world. I am safe and in comfort. I am safe and in control. I am freeing myself from stress and worry. Today, I find peace exactly where I am, right here and right now. Namaste. Please stay with us for our 10:30 service and enjoy the music from Tony Barandi for the next few moments.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Tony. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Margie Sammons. I'm a practitioner here, and I will be sharing with you the announcements today as we get started. So as you can tell, this is our first Zoom Sunday celebration, based on the current pandemic. And due to that, we will be offering our Sunday celebration via Zoom going forward. We won't be able to do it on live stream at this time. However, we will provide a link to the recording of this service on our Facebook page, as well as on our live stream, on our Facebook, as well as on our website. So you'll also get it in the midweek missive e-newsletter. You'll have a link for it. So just wanted to let you know we're trying to share as much as possible. So here's a technical note. If you want to just see the current speaker during the Zoom, the speaker view or the active speaker mode, whichever might be available on your device. All that being said, let's start with the announcements. So our 2020 annual meeting that was scheduled to take place last Sunday has been postponed until further notice due to the current situation across the world. We will reschedule and you'll be notified as soon as we can all get back together again. Barry Bates has postponed his workshop too that was scheduled for today due to the pandemic. So he will be rescheduling in the future and you will be notified of that as well. We will still be offering the Roots class, and the dates and times will be determined and communicated out very soon. Of course, we will be doing that on Zoom. So our April 3rd Mystic Cafe has been postponed and will be rescheduled for May 1st unless we can figure something else out that we can do for April 3rd. Please join Reverend Gregory Toole, our new interim minister, for his workshop, Communicating Compassionately and Powerfully. This will be on Sunday, April 5th from 2 to 2 p.m. This workshop brings science of mind principles together with maxims for effective communication. The cost is just a love offering, and this will be a Zoom workshop, and more information will be provided so that you can participate. Reverend Gregory Toole will also be facilitating a class, Conscious Loving. It's based on the book, and this will be for 6 Saturdays, April 18th, May 2nd and 16th, June 6th and 20th, and July will be, the dates will be announced. It will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. So all classes will be recorded, so you don't have to miss anything. And right now it's going to be online via Zoom. And again, the cost is a love offering. We'll continue to send more information out as we get that to you. The 2020 Oasis Regional Retreat at Shawnee Lodge in April has been postponed. So if you already registered for the retreat and you paid a deposit or paid in full, you would have received an email last week from Reverend Rainbow Weldon at the Baja CSL regarding the processing of your refund. We will be determined, a new date will be determined for the retreat, and as soon as we get that figured out, or as soon as they get that figured out, they will let you know. So that's the news for today. So even though we're all on mute in the comfort of your own home, please sing our opening song.
All right.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say I love you and I love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. All right, get those arms going again. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I'm down to you. Feel the love, your sexuality. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. Come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to our very first ever Sunday celebration on Zoom. My name is Reverend Amy Papadoupolo, and I am so honored to be with you all this morning. And how wonderful it is that we can use this technology to see the outpicturing of the oneness that we are. Columbus Center for Spiritual Living and the Centers for Spiritual Living are an inclusive organization. No matter where you are on your spiritual path in your life, the doors are always open. The Zoom rooms, if we have it on Zoom, are always open, and you are all welcome here regardless. You are always welcome. I want to thank everyone today on our Zoom call for being in service today, for getting up, for maybe sitting in your pajama bottoms with your regular shirt on like me. So I'm glad that we're here today. We will be posting this recording of the Sunday celebration on our Facebook page, as well as our website. So you can see kind of up in the corner that we're recording it. So we will eventually get it off the cloud and then put it on those two places, our Facebook and our website. Would you please say our sacred covenant prayer with me? While it's getting put back on the screen, I just want to let you guys know that we have shortened this. There's a longer version, and if you would like the longer version, you can email Robin at spirituallivingcolumbus.org. So please say this with me. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good, who are all touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious, and so it is. I'd like to thank the practitioner intern Ann Strayer for that beautiful meditation this morning, as well as practitioner intern Kristen Wilcock. She is holding a virtual high watch for us today so that we can step into this message at a deeper place for each one of us. And at this time, I would like to reintroduce Margie Salmons to the screen, who will be assisting me today.
Thanks, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
With the ringing of the bowls, we'll begin our sacred service. A reading from Ruby Rose. The takeaway is that you only know who you were born to be, and you need to be free to be that person. Now, let the music take us into silence for a few moments.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into mystery. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
And so we are called to let go of the shore and float into that mystery, never more so than in this time for the whole world. And what I know about that mystery is I am floating into it with Source itself. And I see that Source, that Spirit, that Mother, Father, God around me and around everyone else in this mystery that exists today. I see God in the people that are helping each other. I see God in the smiles and the Zoom calls. I see God in every single person that is reaching out, to touch each other. And so I know that God is working through as every single person on this planet. And so I claim for us, I claim for this planet that there is Spirit strongly present, that what is happening will soon be gone and behind us, and that from this experience is a greater love, is greater health, is greater awareness. I claim that for us all. And I give thanks for that experience, for the experience of this that goes into the future in love and kindness. I release this prayer into the law because I know that it is already done. And I invite you all to close this prayer with me by saying, and so it is.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
This is a song from Spirit saying to us to join it in union. I am the ocean. You are the salt in my sea. Cream in my coffee. In my tea. Maybe we should spend the summer. Maybe we should spend some time together under the sun. I am the ocean. You are the land. My deep devotion. Crashing on your sand. Maybe we should spend the summer. Maybe we should spend some time together under the sun.
Under the sun.
Thank you, Carissa. That was amazing. At my window over here and it's sunny and you're singing about the sun and my heart just feels so full. And it just feels so, I feel so grateful that we can all be here today together. So thank you all for being here. I want to make a quick correction about the announcements. Reverend Gregory's workshop, the Communicating Compassionately and Powerfully on April 5th, will be from 12 until 2. I think in the announcements it said it was from 2 until 2, which would have been like, whew, there you go, you're enlightened. Whew. Also, I was really struck by Carissa, when you were singing about being under the sun, and I'm thinking about all of us right now being under that same sun, that oneness. And I was also really touched by Margie in your prayer about, reminded me we're in the becoming. We're deepening our connection with ourselves. We're deepening our connection with each other during this time that we're calling a pandemic, or that we're in a pandemic. So let's talk about that. We're in an amazing experience right now. This experience with this coronavirus pandemic, with the staying at home. And I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. It feels like, and it is, a time of great disruption, being disrupted from our normal everyday routines, being disrupted from going out, being disrupted from meeting with people, our homes, our work, children staying at home, being homeschooled. There are people that have had disruption in their jobs, losing their jobs. People that are in our healthcare, that are going to hospitals, that are caring for those that might be sick. People in the grocery stores and the restaurants putting themselves in situations. We're just in a place where everything is chaotic, everything is disrupted. And yet, what I see is happening from this is that dependence on each other. We're dependent on each other to stay home. We're dependent on each other and on the technology to connect ourselves together like I have never seen it. My teacher used to say, I can't wait to see what good comes of this. And I just think this morning, being on Zoom and being here and seeing what the technology can bring to us and for us is just one small example of the good that's going to come from this. And I know for me in my heart how full it is to hear Carissa sing, to hear Margie pray, and to see everyone say hello in the chat, and to see everyone on here. It's just amazing. But first, before we get into the science of mind part of it, I want to talk about the kids. Someday, our kids will have kids. And someday, those kids will complain about being bored. And their kids will say, I want to go out somewhere. I want to be bored. I'm bored at home. And our kids will be able to say to them, let me tell you about a time that I couldn't leave my house for a month because of the coronavirus pandemic. This is our kids' 2-mile walk in the snow, uphill, both directions. There's an enormous amount of staying home right now, working from home, being at home. And there's an enormous amount of fear I know that I have experienced. Thank you, Linda, in the chat for laughing at that. It's kind of funny to not have any sort of feedback at all from the audience. A lot of fear I was on a call this week with some other ministers and how we were going to talk to our communities about what's happening. And Reverend Dr. Petra Weldis from Dallas reminded us that Ernest Holmes said to us, if we desert our teaching in our hour of need, it means we have never believed our teaching in the first place. If we desert our teaching in our hour of need, it means we never believed in our teaching in the first place. But so I want to talk about our teaching. I think for me, it's been a time, and I want to share this with all of you, to get back to the basics, for getting back to the basics, for getting back to our teaching. We practice and teach the science of mind, which is also sometimes called science of mind and spirit or religious science. And oftentimes you hear us talk about principle. And I want to talk about principle today in a way that is very clear, that we can all know, at least begin to know, and to be able to say, this is what we teach and what we believe. This is our principle. So we have a statement, the principles of what we believe. There are 14 of these principles, what we believe statements. You can Google it. I looked on our website. It's not on our website, but you can always Google what we believe in religious science or the principles of science of mind. And these were set forth by our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. And the very first principle that he wrote was, we believe in God. That we believe in God, the living, almighty spirit, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. So that is one of our principles. That's our very first principle. We believe in God. There is only one God. It is indestructible. It is absolute everywhere, and it is self-existent. So if it is self-existent, it has to be expressed. That's why we say we are unique individualizations of the one. And it is living in, through, and around you and me and everyone here on this planet. And it is indestructible. This is also why we in Science of Mind start our prayers with that recognition statement. We recognize that there is one source, not two, but one source. We recognize there is one cause. And this is our principle. This is our first principle. This is the principle that I really have been working with this week. And like Ernest Holmes said, to abandon our teaching, to abandon this principle in our time of need means we weren't believing in it at all. So how can we say that God is in the coronavirus? But it has to be, right? Because if there is one power, one source, one self-existent cause, it has to be in that. And yet, there is still chaos. On that call with the ministers this past week, Dr. Petra said that in this great time of disturbance and chaos, creativity is emerging. And I've thought about that a lot, about that creativity emerging. And I think, well, I know I've seen it on a lot of coronavirus memes. Have you seen them? They're very funny. We're seeing it in the use of technology. We're seeing it in the way that we are able to connect with each other while still physically distancing, while still staying at home. Ernest Holmes also said that the study of science of mind is a study of first cause, of spirit, of mind, of that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power of everything back of all creation and the thing itself. And I think that this first principle of oneness, this first cause, the power back of everything, is really our call to action right now. For we are people of faith. In the midst of this pandemic, we can make a difference. We really, really can. It's a spiritual healing for ourselves and for the world. And it's based on that oneness. It's based on that connection. It's based on rediscovering the truth within ourselves, which is also being in touch with that wholeness. Another thing that we teach is the wholeness of the universe, the oneness, the allness. And it has to start. We talk about this. Sometimes you hear us say, oftentimes you'll hear us talk about the vision for Centers for Spiritual Living as a world that works for everyone, one person at a time, starting with me. So what is our call to action? It's finding that inner peace. I know for me, that inner peace I can find. I can sit in my chair and I can meditate and pray and journal. I can find that inner peace and know that amongst this pandemic, God is in the middle of it. And then I get up and then I watch the governor's speech and then I become afraid. Then I go back and I pray and I find my inner peace. And I find myself doing this, coming back to prayer, coming back to oneness, coming back to that breath. And as we can know that as people in Centers for Spiritual Living and as people around the country and the globe get together in their spiritual communities right now, praying for the end of the virus, praying for the end of the pandemic. It is powerful. Prayer is powerful. That is our weapon. That is our call to action. I also believe, my friends, that our call to action is to not abandon our principles in our hour of need. We are people of faith. We are people of faith in the oneness of spirit. I have chills right now because I know that there's something within me that responds to this feeling, to this knowing that it's all God. And you know, sometimes for me, I get a little verklempt, as they say. You know, sometimes for me, all I can say and what I say is, I believe in God. When I get scared, I believe in God. So, kind of been thinking about this talk, and it's felt like a very big talk because I want it to make an impact. I wanted to provide a message. I want it to be inspiring. I want it to be based on principles, and I want it to be something that we can all take, that you can take and use in your life. And so something I read this week that inspired me to share with you all was, remember a couple of years ago, that British saying, keep calm and carry on? Remember how that was really popular? Well, I think we can use that phrase again. What if we say, keep calm, pray on, and wash your hands? Keep calm, pray on, stay at home. Keep calm, pray on, I believe in God. Keep calm, pray on, I believe in God. That's where I am right now. Keep calm, pray on, I believe in God. So on Friday, Pope Francis delivered a special prayer to the city and to the world. It was neat to look at that picture of him at St. Peter's Basilica, St. Peter's Square, and there was no one there. But what he said in his prayer really touched my heart, and I wanted to share it with you all because I was so deeply touched by what he said. And his prayer was a prayer to end the coronavirus pandemic. He said, "We find ourselves afraid and lost. We were caught off guard by an unexpected, turbulent storm. We have recognized we're all in the same boat. All of us fragile and disoriented. All of us called to row together, each of us needing the comfort of each other." When he said, "We have realized we're all in the same boat," I thought, who knew Pope Francis was a religious scientist? No, I'm just kidding. But we're all one. Do you see that? I'm thinking that the people in these faith communities were realizing that we're all one. We're all in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. We are a people of faith. We believe in God. We believe in the power of prayer. Keep calm. Carry on. I believe in God. I also wanted to bring in I'm looking for my journal. I put it away. I also was looking for how to bring in the very last week of March, since this is the last week in March. And we have been using the theme honoring the divine feminine. So I was thinking about how can I connect this divine feminine this month into my talk today. And this quote that goes along with this theme for the last day, I think was really perfect. So it's a quote from a book. The book is called In Search of the Divine, Masculine and Feminine. The book is by Jeremy Pors. And what he says is, what we have uncovered was that we need to disassociate with ideas of male and female. The divine masculine is an energy of action, of courage, of power, of the abstract. The divine feminine is an energy of patience, of wisdom, flexibility, and nurturing. And the combination of these energies allow motion when blended. And I just thought about how perfect that is right now as we're being told to stay inside. We're being asked to stay inside because it's that divine masculine of action that we usually oftentimes are in. We're out in our world, we're doing, I know for me, we're doing, we're going, we're being. That's that divine masculine. But we're asked to sit more back in and come into alignment with that divine feminine that has the patience, that has the flexibility as we're at home. So it's a matter of balancing. And he says the combination of these energies allow motion when blended. So we can blend these masculine and feminine and honor both the masculine and the feminine as we are in our homes, praying, washing our hands, and also maybe doing home projects, and maybe not. I want to end this talk with a reading from, this is what my book looks like, Living the Science of Mind. And I'll tell you what page it's on because our new spiritual leader, Reverend Edward Villion, shared this on a call last week. And it was so powerful that I wanted to read it to you and share it with you today. It's from Living the Science of Mind on page 124. And it's a couple paragraphs. So if you're welcome to keep your eyes open, or if you want to close your eyes and take it in, whatever works for you. Then I'm going to read it to you before I say our closing prayer. The passage is called the friend that is within you. You have a friend within you who is closer than your shadow. This friend anticipates your every desire, knows your every need, and governs your every act. This friend is the God within your own soul, the animating presence projecting your personality, which is a unique individualization of the living spirit. This friend within you is infinite, since it's the personification of God. It's not limited to any previous experience which you may have had by present conditions or passing situations. It has no inherent tendency of evil, lack, or limitation. It has never been caught in the mesh of circumstances. It is at all times radiant, free, and happy. To your intellect, this invisible friend may seem to be someone else, not your real self, but such is not the case. Some have believed that this friend within you is a mediator between you and the creative spirit. Others have believed it to be reincarnation or rebirth of your previous self, while others have sincerely believed it to be some discarnate soul. But you are not to accept such beliefs, for the real person within you is a direct personification of the universal spirit. It is your inner, absolute, perfect self. The friend within you is different from all other persons, and yet it's united with all others. There is some part of you which reaches into the nature of others, irresistibly drawn to them and drawing them to you, binding all together in one complete unity. Right now, you are one with all persons, all places, and all events. The one within you lives in a state of poise. It is above the fear. It is beyond the hurt. And it is sufficient unto itself. The friend within you is continuously looking after your well-being, for it always wishes you to be happy, to be well, and to be radiant. Being this very fountain of your life, this friend is a luminous presence, ever more emerging from pure spirit, ever more expanding in your consciousness, for it is the high counselor and the eternal guide. It is your intellect, the essence of its understanding, the nicety of its calculation, and the appreciation of its temperament. For there can be no greater unity than exists between you and this inner friend. It spreads a table before you in the wilderness of human thought. Its cup of joy runneth over. It laughs at disaster, triumphs over human failure, and mocks the grave. When this present experience shall be rolled up like a scroll, it will pass on to a new and greater experience. But today, it is here. Trust it today. And you may trust it for all the tomorrows yet to come. For your tomorrow and the tomorrow and the tomorrow will be an expansion of your endless today. Your personality is an outpicturing of an impression which you have received from this inner friend, this deep personality, this radiant and divine presence, whose life is light, whose consciousness is peace, whose presence is power. You are an incarnation of this person, this presence, and of this power. And in closing, it might be difficult for you to believe that there is such a friend, but it is there at the very center of your being, directing your thoughts and causing you to triumph over every defeat, for it is an inconquerable hero. It keeps silent watch within you, lifts your consciousness to the realization that you are forever protected, forever safe, and forever perfect. So let's just anchor this in prayer, coming from that place where I know that I know that I know that I am one with this inner friend, that it is me and I am it, and yet it is beyond. And what's true for me is true for each and every person on this Zoom call, each and every person on this planet right now, that we are guided, guarded, and directed and protected from all fear, from all doubt, from any delusion of lack and limitation. For I turn my conscious awareness back to this presence within me that knows nothing but peace, knows nothing but power, knows nothing but light and love. And I claim that this is my truth right now. I allow it, I claim it, I demand it to be in every cell, in every action, in every moment of my life. And I know that for each and every person on this call, I claim that we are protected forever. We are forever safe within our own beings, as in each and every person here. I claim an end to the coronavirus pandemic. I claim an end to suffering. I claim peace and hope and joy and laughter and lightness and clean hands and the following of the rules. I claim a curve that flattens out, that starts to go down. I claim enough ventilators. I claim enough masks. And I say a special word of protection and gratitude for those on the front lines, for the health workers, for the people in the grocery stores, for the people in the restaurants, for the children, for the elderly, and for every person on the planet. In my mind and my heart and in my being, I just know all is well because God is in the middle of it, and I believe in God. And God is good and absolute and indestructible. I know that this prayer is done in the mind of the one, which is the mind of all of us. For that law of cause and effect always says yes. And so I let it go into that law that never fails. And for each of us says, with you, I am well pleased. And please help me close this prayer by saying each one out loud. And so it is. Namaste.
And in speaking of the divine feminine and creativity, here we go. Come closer if you want to hear. Come closer if you want to hear. I've got something to say. I have something to say. Lean right in, give me your ear. Get quiet now so you can hear. I've got something to say. Always something to say. And you can paint it if you want. Or you can write it in a song. It really doesn't matter how you make it real. The point is just the same with everyone. Creation. Creation. Be something. Come closer if you want to hear. Come closer if you want to hear. I've got something to say. I have something to say. Fan the flames with question marks and catch a fresh creative spark. I've got something to say. Always something to say. And you can paint
Thank you, Carissa. That was fun. If you made something, I would encourage you to uh, to show it on the screen right now as we move into our time of offering. And I was not able to look at the chats as I was going down in my talk, so I just kind of peeked at those. Thank you. Thank you all for the kind words. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. My heart is full, and I am so grateful to be able to serve. I also want to, okay, so now is the time for the giving of our gifts. During this very unique time, whether you connect with us on your phone, on your tablet, on your TV, on Zoom, we are honored to be able to continue to provide this to you all, to minister to you from the Center for Spiritual Living. You have all been so generous. When we did our pledge campaign, you have all been so generous over time for the Centers for Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. And during this time of quarantine, you still continue to be generous. And that's how we make our way in the world. And we are infinitely grateful for your generosity, for we are here to support you. We are here to serve you. We are here to minister to you. If you need anything from us, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to a practitioner. So you can, even though we're not passing a physical offering basket, we're passing a virtual offering basket. We have many ways to give. You can go to our website and you can give there. You can, thanks, Robin. You can go to our, there we go. You can go to Text to Give, you can go to our website, or you can actually mail in your donation. So whether you have, if you've got a check in your hand, this is usually where we place our hand over our heart. So I would just invite you to imagine your gift, your financial gift, your donation, your tithe. Imagine that energy in your hand. Put it over your heart. And with your microphone still muted, please say out loud with me, my gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
And while we're circulating, let's sing about circulation.
If I open up a channel to receive, if I open up my heart and just believe, if I open up my soul I can see, if I know I am infinity, I can feel it, I can feel it, circulation, circulation. If I open up a channel to receive, if I open up my heart and just believe, if I know I am infinity, if I open up my soul I can see, then I feel it. Can you feel it? Circulation, 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 circulation.
And it is this circulation that is an expression of God. So we bless the gifts and we bless the givers and we bless everyone that gives of their heart and gives of their time and gives of their talent, because these are the gifts that make this center abundant. And so I claim for this center that there is increased abundance because there is increased love and caring and joy and celebration. It's with a grateful heart I say thank you, thank you. And together we close this prayer by singing.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Thank you. Let's thank Carissa Holmes. So if you will all take yourselves, if you're comfortable, take yourselves off the stop video. So when I was in ministerial school, I did all my ministerial school work through Zoom. And the way we would, instead of clapping, we would do this. So let's all thank Carissa Holmes by doing this, along with Tony Bernardi on piano and Steve Parakis on bass, Joe Nelson on drums. They collaborated with Carissa to provide the music for today. Thank you all that you are here with us today on Zoom. And if you're joining for the first time, we welcome you. We'd love to send you a welcome packet in the mail. If you would like to receive one, please send a private chat to Robin Brookhouse now on the chat. You put your full name, your address, and your phone number, and she will send it to you. Also, we will add you to our weekly e-news if you'd like to do that. One thing we're going to do at the end of service here, which is a little bit unique and different, is doing 1-minute miracles. So Zoom has the capability of doing breakout rooms. So what we're going to do is we have practitioners that are available after the service. If you would like a prayer, stay on after we sing our last song. Our practitioners will be there available, and I will put you in a room that looks like this, but there'll only be 2 participants. It'll be the practitioner that's giving the prayer and the person that's receiving the prayer. So if you'd like to have one of those, please stay on. You can also always contact a practitioner or myself for prayer at any time. So if you will please say your blessings our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life, sorry. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.
All right, let's sing our last song, I Send My Love.
I send my love over mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. And it returns to me.
I would encourage you all to unmute and say hello or goodbye to us so we can see you. We can know who's here.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you.
Miss you guys.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Air hugs.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
One. See you, Jay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
So good to see everybody.
Look at Joni.